The castle of Rivia now loomed before the Lyrians. Water surrounded it on 3 sides, and dual defensive walls studded with podgy turrets completed its perimeter. It was famously difficult to take, and had changed hands only once, a few months before, when traitors opened its gates to the Nilfgaardians. Foreign banners waved upon the walls. The Golden Sun and General Epdahi's crest on Rivia's walls. The walls of home. There was somber silence among the troops, the glee and pride of many triumphs suddenly gone. For each knew if the Queen ordered an assault, most would lie dead by sunrise.
Your Majesty,
Began Reynard in a reassuring tone.
we needn't strike quickly. We've time on our side. To prepare would be wise. 2 months, I wager, perfectly enough. We stop supplies from getting through. They'll capitulate, I've little doubt. Or at worst, be too weak to defend the fortress.
Reynard's reasoning was sound. There was no need for urgency. Meve had the upper hand for the first time in this war.
These invaders have grown fond of Rivia Castle,
Said Meve.
so let them stay and rot. Reynard, erect road barricades and guard posts between city and citadel. Gascon, seize all boats, barges, anything that floats. Stop anything from entering from the lake. Move!
Soon Rivia Castle stood isolated from the world outside its walls. All roads leading to it were blocked, impassable. Fishing boats, a cordon, embraced the fortress on Loch Escalot. The lanterns on their bows glowed like fireflies in summer. Then, an emissary from the castle brought a message for the Queen. General Epdahi wished to meet, face to face, and half the way between the citadel and the Lyrian camp.
Well, well, some general.
Smirked Gascon.
We've barely snapped the trap shut, yet he's already shaking in his knickers.
Be on your guard, Mother.
Said Willem.
Epdahi I know better than anyone here. The man always has a trick up his sleeve.
We've a few of our own. Sleeves and tricks. But I thank you for the warning and concern.
Meve proceeded to the meeting point without delay. A lone rider soon appeared on the horizon. He came adorned in rich black robes, their golden trim shimmering in stray sunbeams. She'd seen him before, in Edirn, through the megascope.
You came as I requested. Good. Very good.
I couldn't possibly refuse such a courteous invitation, especially as compared to your previous missive. The art of diplomacy, you've improved your grasp.
But I could say the same of you. I was surprised, no, impressed, that you didn't have my messenger flogged, then beheaded. But please, we must set aside this bitterness. I'd like to formally welcome you to Rivia.
I see you've readily adopted the role of gracious host in my home.
In point of fact, I've grown fond of the castle. Fortifications impressive, atypical of the north. Not so your brave soldiers, whom we shall pick off like ducks.
Dry your eyes, General. Rest easy. I've no plans for a quick assault. I shall first wait to hear the rumbling in your bellies.
Remarkable. You truly believe you can win this? I've not been in the north long, but have discovered something all the same. You don't grasp complex ideas. You know Nilfgaard is large. You see, for every army you defeat, another will come to take its place. One larger and better equipped than the one before. Even now, as we so pleasantly chat, Army Group East is en route to lift your siege, due to arrive tomorrow. And do you know what will happen when they do? They will crush you against
A charming analogy. But get to the point. Why'd you ask for this meeting?
For this very reason. I wish...
They did not see enough in Edirn? Are you such an admirer of feminine beauty?
You flatter yourself. No, in you, I see an animal. Game. Prey. And as the hunt's due to start soon, I needed a more detailed image of the beast I'll be looking for.
You? On a hunt? Those delicate hands have never held spear or bow. Nout sharper than a letter opener, I wager. Tomorrow you will not be on a hunt. Tomorrow you will be at war. You best pray to all your gods you don't find me.
Without awaiting a response from General Ep Dahi, Niamh pivoted and turned toward camp.
As a rule, human fortifications aren't worth a pound of Shield-Marshite. But this fort sure turned out all right for you. Thou in hell! Got no tricks to stay positive. Thou it.
Gonna be one hell of a night! Ah! 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 Don't you dare sound the... My axe craves blood!
Always darkest before the dawn. Many will die today. Too many. Let us hope this let us...
Niamh's closest advisors already awaited her in the command tent. In a few brief words...
An army, an immense one, approaches from the west. If we meet in open battle, we...
Damn it! Why did no one warn me?
Our scouts were discovered.
Yes, it didn't seem right. Wait.
We must flee? Not at all.
Easily said, but for a problem. Our force is chiefly infantry. The army that draws near includes cavalry, several regiments. We cannot...
What do you advise?
We've two options. Capitulate...
Out of the question.
Or take the castle. Tonight.
Suppose for a moment it's possible. Tell me how and at what cost. Are we to scale a mountain of comrades' corpses to reach the top of the wall? I know we're at war and many die. But to command our troops to take that citadel...
Rivia's walls are unassailable. I fully agree. But there's more than one way to take any fort, and this fort too.
I think I like where this is going.
I know this citadel like no one else. I know its one potential weakness.
Wait. That narrowest of piers between the two turrets? The one where the fishermen would land?
The same. As I'm sure you recall, Your Grace, at that narrow pier's end stands a narrow door. A small detachment could approach unnoticed.
What then?
They would need to pass through the fort to the winch in the guardhouse. Open the gate for the rest of the fort.
That is... suicide!
Perhaps. But as options go, we have...
And I'm to choose to send folk there?
You needn't choose anyone, for I volunteer.
Bloody wretched
And you've a better one, do you?
Of course!
Beg your pardon?
Face it, Reynard, you couldn't sneak past a corpse! Sound like a bloody tambourine in that armour. Apart from which, you're Niamh's right hand. So you ought to be by her side when the fighting starts.
Firstly, Reynard, I'm grateful. Well...
Thank you, Your Grace.
But truth be told, I did indeed hear you walking to the tent, from the other side of camp. And yes, you know Rivia Castle better than anyone else.
Understood, Your Grace.
Cheers, Niamh. I'll try not to disappoint.
You won't, I'm sure. God speed you on your way, and please.
Gascon hand-picked his men. Those most adept with daggers, not swords. Noiselessly, they glided through the dark toward the castle. the light of its lanterns blurred by the evening mist. Meve watched anxiously as the boats glided away, her heart pounding in her ears. All depended on this mission. The fate of her realms, perhaps all the North, the lives of her troops, and her own. Now there was naught she could do but wait.
Good luck,
she whispered, gazing at the fortress walls, cloaked by the dark that seemed to... Their silence absolute, in darkness, illuminated only by the pale light of the moon. Meve was restless. She paced nervously Finally, a torch's faint glow appeared atop the towering walls. It disappeared, then glowed again, and one more moments later, Lyrians in the hundreds burst from the trees. The Nilfgaardian defenders loaded their Then they heard chains, grinding and clinking, and the sound sent shivers down their spines. Bewildered, they watched the main gate rise as the attacking Meve had begun the day known as a great warrior. Yet by night's end, legend was the cloak she wore. Her shield stopped powerful blow after blow, as her blade found gaps in her... What was this extraordinary vigor that surged through Meve? Naturally, she wished to liberate her castle and realm, drive off the invaders, defeat the arrogant General Epdahi. But as she stepped through the door into the tower, the silence told Meve she'd arrived too late. Gascon's men lay slaughtered in pools of their own blood. The man himself slumped over the...
Help's on the way. Don't you even think of dying.
You know...
wheezed Gascon, a slight smirk on his lips.
I always enjoyed doing things just to spite you.
Medics on the stairs in the guardhouse, steps away, heard a long, blood-curdling wail. The Queen rose, her fists clenched, her shoulders rigid, her knuckles white. Her face betrayed no sorrow, no despair, just rage, hot as a forge, immeasurable.
Now's not the time to mourn,
seethed Meve, struggling to stay calm.
Now's the time for war, for slaughter, revenge. With victory today...
The Lyrians were at the brink, near their breaking point. They'd followed Meve for thousands of miles, over snow-clad peaks, through forbidding swamps. They'd fought, survived countless battles at her side, and though their gazes were now weary, she knew they'd follow her into fire.
Your Grace, the Blackclads, they've holed themselves up in the upper keep.